Hi everyone, it's T. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's having an amazing day. If you have not subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe, hit those notifications, give me a thumbs up and a comment on this video. It really does help my channel a lot and I would really appreciate it. Today we are going to work on our roulette nails. So nail roulette this time was extra long coffins. You needed to use a vintage rose color, what you considered a vintage rose, alcohol ink, glitter, and the theme was birds. So I was just playing around today at lunch and kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So I did do this one nail off camera. So I will admit I don't have video of myself doing this one because I just wasn't sure if it was one I was going to do or not. And what I've decided to do actually is 3 different nails, so 3 takes on our theme, but all kind of using a sort of a, what do I want to say? Kind of like a, oh my gosh, what are they? Cherry blossom, kind of an Asian kind of take on the art, on the way that I'm doing it. So we'll see how it goes. So this was the first one I tried. And again, like I said, I don't have video of this one because I wasn't even sure if I was really going to keep this nail. So shame on me, I should have. So that is our first nail. And I'm going to do the other 2 with you. So one of these nails, I want it to look very much kind of like cherry blossoms in the spring. So I'm going to just start with one nail. I want to use a blue alcohol ink to kind of give the impression of a sky. And I want it to be much more blue up here and then coming down being much more transparent and white, because I want to draw the cherry blossoms, if I can, with a a liner brush using the alcohol ink. So we're just going to start at the top, and I'm not sure if this is the shade of blue I want to use. It looks a little bit more green to me. So how we will make a change to that is, let me grab this one up here. Sorry about that. We're going to use, because that one I feel like more gives us more like a, hi, it's going to be a stormy sky, and that is not what we're looking for. So we're going to just take a little bit of alcohol first. Let me move this over here to the left and get myself a couple of pads of the no wipe, or lint-free wipes. And we're just going to kind of go over it a little bit. It'll add a little dimension to the blue that we're going to use on top of this. But I feel like this would give it more like a stormy looking sky. And the alcohol ink this time, I'm just, on this nail, is going to be more of, at least this first layer, more of kind of like a base color we're doing. So the magnets on these stands that Tamara from Devil Wears Press-Ons makes are phenomenal, let me tell you. So I am just adding a bunch of stripes of the alcohol ink, and this alcohol ink is one that I hauled just recently for y'all. I just got these, the pastel ones, and yeah, you can smell the alcohol. I'll just put it that way. They definitely are ones that if the strong alcohol scent, smell, whatever you want to call it, gets to you, you're going to notice it on those because of the fact that they are very alcohol. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so I am just trying to kind of, I don't want it to be a perfect, because skies are not perfect, but I just kind of want to give it a little bit of color coming down. And I've talked about alcohol inks before. They are something that you will need to at least, well, You don't need to do anything with your alcohol inks. You are free to choose to do whatever the hell you want with them. Let me change that, how I said that. How I like to use them is to use a layer of matte top coat after each one of my layers of alcohol ink. So that is our blue sky to start out with. I might add a little white to it. I'm not quite sure yet. So once that dries a little bit, we're going to mix this up. And let me pull these all in. I have a lot of inks that I have pulled out to play with today to see if I can kind of get to what's in my head, out of my head and onto the nail. So we're going to go for it together and see how that works. And I do think I'm actually going to add a little white to this. And I think I'm going to add kind of like, almost as if it is kind of like a cloud breaking through that blue. I'm not going to move around a lot. I mean, I am going to move around some, but not a lot. Okay. Definitely alcohol. You got some no alcohol. All right, so we're just going to move it around just a little to kind of give it that swoopy. I don't know if that's the word I want to use, but I want it to kind of go across the nail a little bit. And oh my god, we just talked about this yesterday when I was filming. I need to remember to turn the name phone off. Sorry about that. I think in every video I do, I feel like at least every video I do, I'm going to add, I think a really interesting blue on stand. I think I'm going to add some really, really bright blue. And I have a really bright blue over here. I have a lot of alcohol. I have a very, very bright blue over here that I use. And I think this is going to give me the effect I want. We talked about this alcohol before. I don't know if you guys this bottle, but I jammed it up at some point, and now I have to use a liner brush with it, which is a little bit. There we go. That's why this is slowly coating everywhere. Okay, this is even more of a blue. It's more brush. It's about here. And these nails that I started with, all I did was put 2 coats of this Shea Milky White on them for a base to start out with. So again, very gentle touch when you are putting your matte top coat on top of alcohol ink. You do not want to smear what you're doing, and you don't want to get the ink in your top coat. So gentle, 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 gentle. And that will be our sky. Thank God that had the lid on, because that would have been just typical me to have that completely make a mess. So I will be right back. Okay, we are back and we have it matted. So this is our sky with a little bit of cloud kind of action going on. Now, this is the fun part. Hello, can I help you? Kat was just deciding that she was going to be all loud all of a sudden. Okay, so this is the fun part. We are going to try to draw, you notice I said try to draw a cherry blossom tree. So we're going to go with the branch first, and I'm having my cherry blossom tree on this one come down this way, right? So I'm just starting with some black. Hello. You all right there, miss? You okay? Grabbing my brush. And just kind of, whoa, there's a cat hair on the end of it. And just trying to, because this is going to be our main branch of our like cherry blossom branches that are coming down. So this is going to be the first one. And I'm just playing with it a little bit to kind of make it look more like a branch in my eyes. We're just going to be very, very careful. Yeah, right. Anyway, I'm just adding another layer of black. And I'm going to use the brush, the liner brush, if I can, because it is completely dried out now. 1 sec. Dip in here and get all the way to you. And bring it kind of down. I'm very frustrated with the fact that I can't get that off. My arm's tired today. As I get to the bottom and get lower, I'm just getting thinner. And I'm just layering. Okay. And our branch is going to go off this way a little bit. I feel like this is kind of like, what's in my head is more of a sort of a take on kind of like almost like watercolor with the alcohol ink, like painting with it. Oh my God. I do not want to know what I am doing right now. 1 sec. I should be getting out my actual watercolor brushes for what I'm trying to do. I don't know what's going through my brain sometimes. I'm going to blame the COVID. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. You ever have those times where it's like all of a sudden it's just like you have an epiphany and you're like, holy shit, how did I not think of that before? Because I bought these brushes specifically for things like this. Branches are not straight, people, just so you know. So don't worry about making your branches straight. You're never going to have to worry about it. I very rarely have ever seen a tree that has a straight ass branch. Now, I'm not saying there aren't some. There probably are. Okay, so we have, these are the branches of our cherry blossoms. Now, we are going to put the lid on this alcohol ink because we have talked about Teresa spills everything. Okay, so with these cherry blossoms, we will see if what I have in my head I can accomplish. It will be interesting, to say the least. This has been open, so it shouldn't be as difficult, as you can tell, because I made a damn mess with it. 1 sec. Let me clean the top of this bottle off. Watch it there, Miss Teresa. Okay. See if we can do this. I'm just kind of laying the alcohol down in rough petal shapes for my cherry blossoms. Now, cherry blossoms have 5 petals. That was a lot. That was so way too much. Again, like I said, cherry blossoms have 5 petals, but we are going to leave that one with 4 because apparently I thought I needed like the biggest petal in the history of the world. Whew. That one petal is huge. Don't freak out. I am not going to top coat this quite yet because what I want to do is I want to add just a little bit of a darker alcohol ink and just in just a couple little itty bitty tiny spots, like nothing big. But I just think it will add a little something to it. Oh, okay, I'm loving that. I really, really am. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of, which probably needs to be mixed as well, because all that glitter just sinks down to the bottom. Okay. I'm just adding a little bit to these cherry blossoms. We are going to add one of these little birdies to it. Actually, I think I'm going to add both of these little birdies to this nail, just like the other one. So, top coated it, or flash cured it, excuse me. We're going to top coat with the zombie. The other part of the glitter I feel like is, to be truthful with you, the bird charms I'm using are very glittery charms. So I feel like that brings in the glitter aspect as well. And this zombie is a nice, it's super thick, super shiny. I can stick the charms on. They really won't move that much. I can get them where I want them to go and then stick it in the lamp and go from there. Well, but before we do that, because I am like absolutely famous for missing the edge of the nail. So let's make sure we go down both sides because it just drives me batshit crazy when I do that. And then we're going to go ahead and put our charms on, and that nail will be done. As soon as I get my tweezers back out, because for some odd reason I decided to put the tweezers away, even though I knew I was going to need them. It's one of those days, people. One of those days. All right, so we're going to take our little gold birdie, and I think we're going to have our little gold bird up here. Sort of, kind of. These charms do not have like a curved back. And again, I'm not wearing them. So I'm just trying to get them at an angle that I feel like I like them at. And it doesn't really matter if they stick out a lot because of the fact that I'm not wearing these. Oh, you come back here. What in the holy hell was that? And I think I'll do this little bird over here. Maybe more like an angle like that. Okay. That nail is going into the lamp to cure. And we are on to nail number 3. Nail number 3. I was thinking about almost kind of doing a sort of an ombre sunset-y kind of look. So let's attempt that, shall we? We are going to go a darker sky to a lighter sky. So let me think here. Let me think. Come on, you're going to have to work with me because I need you specifically. Yellow, yellow, yellow. I know I have more alcohol inks. I have an amber, which will work, I think, and this yellow. But I really wanted to use this one. I mean, seriously, look how many alcohol inks I should... Here, let me zoom out. Oh, that was in. You see how many I have on the table? Quite a few. And I really want this one open. And it's not going to open for me. Son of a bitch! You bastard! All right, we're going to start with this one at the bottom. So this is going to be reminiscent of like watercolors that I used to like to screw around with when I was in school and how I used to like to paint with them. And I don't know, it just was making me think about that. So I'll start with that dark one. And then I want me some reds. And then I want the amber. Maybe that was a little more amber than I wanted. I go from one extreme to the next, right? Okay. And let's grab this puppy out of here. So this nail, here's our second nail that we did. That we painted those cherry blossoms on the branches for our birds to hang out on. So that's nail number 2. Nail number 1. And nail number 3. As soon as that last bit of alcohol dries. Okay. Are we dry? Or are you just messing with my mind? Okay. Now this nail will ultimately stay matte. We will not be putting a shiny finish on this nail for the look I'm looking for. Basically, I kind of want it to look like just sort of a watercolor, a sunrise kind of watercolor, or excuse me, yeah. I just think that's going to be so lovely. All right, so I put that upside down in the lamp for 60 seconds so that it can matte. I'm liking these. I'm having fun with them. I have more alcohol inks than probably anybody really needs, to be truthful with you. You don't really need this many alcohol inks, but you know, your girl likes them. So once this gets done matting, we will go ahead and we're going to draw some birds. And we're gonna see how it goes. We may end up using, actually now that I think about it, I think I am going to use this dark color here. I think it'll work the best for what I want to do. Alrighty, we have, so this is what we have so far, and it now needs some birds painted on it, don't you? So this is our sky, and we are going to paint some birds. Wish me luck, because we'll see if I can get what's in my head again on here. And then I have to figure out how I'm going to incorporate glitter in this. Considering I want it to stay matte. You know what I'm saying? But I want to get these at least on the nail. I don't want it to see. Oh, do you see that? Do you see that? See that bird that kind of looks like it's melting a little? Because of the top coat, you have to be gentle, like I said. You do not want to smear. Gentle, gentle, gentle. I'm trying to make sure I have it at least all covered. Not swipe too much at it. And get it in here so that it can start curing. Okay. All right. We have to figure out how we're going to get some glitter in this. So I thought that what I could do is maybe I can do some gold glitter as kind of a sun a bit for this. So Again, flying by the seat of my pants here. Just decided that I was going to go rogue and try to do like 3 different kind of bird nails just because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. But I feel like they have come out. I'm happy with them. Let's put our gold sun like up here. And whoa, that was really way too much. So this is basically just going to be the sun. All I want to do is kind of like an aura of the golds. So the lovely sun up in the corner for us. Okay, our last layer of the matte top coat, because I want to matte this glitter. Okay. That is it. So I think with the vintage rose color, I swear, I can speak in complete sentences sometimes. With the vintage rose color, what I wanted to do and what I did do was kind of attack it from 3 different directions, right? So I feel like this is definitely, I used a lot of the vintage rose in here. I feel like the rose of these birds is kind of like that vintagey rose look. And I got the glitter with those. With this nail, I feel like this right through here is all that vintage rose look, that color that we were looking for. So this is our 3rd bird nail. It is kind of, you know, our take on a watercolory sunset nail. Where are my glasses? I'm blind as a bat without them. So our 3rd bird nail. So those are the 3. Let's take these off of here. Our 3 different bird nails that I decided to do for this one. I feel like they're all different, but kind of, you know, sort of related, right? They're distant cousins. But I just wanted to do, I couldn't make up my mind. I was really kind of going towards this look at first, right? But then I kind of was like, this is sort of interesting. And then this just sort of reminded me of like when I was, like I said, used to do paintings and used to do watercolors and things. So those are my 3 bird nails. I hope you like them. I really appreciate you spending all this time with me. It's been an hour now. We will probably cut some of this out so you won't have to sit through all of it. But I wanted to say thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have not already subscribed, please subscribe, hit those notifications. I will be posting the next nail roulette video, and we will see what the roulette wheels have in store for us tomorrow, Friday, April 4th. And we will see what's gonna come up in the next few weeks, okay? Have a great night. I love you all, and I wanna wish you all peace, love, and joy.